When we think of royal history, we imagine crowns and castles, intrigue and opulence. But what about the shadows that lurked behind the thrones? History's untold secret is that some of Europe's most powerful queens and princesses were accused of practicing the dark arts, making the line between royal power and witchcraft dangerously thin. But were these women actual practitioners of magic or victims of history's most effective character assassination? Therefore, in today's video, we've talked about 9 royal witches from history. So, without further ado, let's begin. At number 9, we've got Empress Alexandra Feodorovna. Empress Alexandra Feodorovna, the wife of Emperor Nicholas II of Russia, was deeply involved in the occult and spiritual practices, particularly through her association with Grigory Rasputin. She participated in seances and consulted with clairvoyants and mystics. Alexandra's most significant involvement with the occult was through her association with Grigory Rasputin, a mystic and faith healer. She believed Rasputin had the ability to heal her son, Alexei, who suffered from hemophilia. Rasputin became a close advisor to the royal family, and his influence was seen as both mystical and political. The royal family's reliance on Rasputin led to significant public scandal and criticism. Many saw Rasputin as a charlatan or a corrupting influence on the royal family. This perception contributed to the decline in popularity of the Romanov dynasty. Alexandra's involvement with Rasputin and the occult is often cited as a factor contributing to the downfall of the Romanov dynasty. Next, we've got Veronica Dezanica, Countess of Telye. Veronica married Frederick II, the son of Count Hermann II of Telye, in secret. This marriage was opposed by Hermann II, who disapproved of Veronica's lower social status. Hermann II accused Veronica of using witchcraft to enthrall his son, as a pretext to justify his opposition to the marriage. Despite a trial that found no evidence of witchcraft, Hermann II ordered her imprisonment and eventual murder. The trial, which lasted 2 days, concluded that Veronica was innocent of any wrongdoing. The judges stated that love was not a crime. Despite the verdict, Hermann II ordered Veronica's execution. She was drowned in a vat of water in the courtyard of Veliki Tabor Castle. Her body was then built into the wall connecting the pentagonal tower to the castle entrance. Veronica's tragic story has become a legend in the region, symbolizing the tragic consequences of forbidden love and the misuse of power. At number 7, we've got Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I was involved in the realm of magic and the occult through her association with figures like John Dee. Elizabeth I had a long-standing relationship with John Dee, a mathematician and occultist. Dee was involved in astrology and divination, which Elizabeth used as a political tool. He cast horoscopes for her and advised her on matters of state, including predicting the outcome of Queen Mary Thorne's pregnancy to secure Elizabeth's place in the line of succession. Elizabeth used the belief in magic to secure her rule. She was aware of the political value of being seen as favored by divine forces, which helped legitimize her reign. During Elizabeth's reign, witchcraft was made a felony through the Witchcraft Act of 1563. This act allowed secular courts to try witchcraft cases, leading to increased prosecutions. While she believed in the existence of witches, she wasn't involved in witch hunts. Next, we've got Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, was often associated with witchcraft accusations due to her controversial rise to power and the political climate of the time. Anne was often described by her detractors, such as Nicholas Sander, as having physical characteristics associated with witchcraft, including a 6th finger and a wen under her chin. These descriptions were likely exaggerated or fabricated to tarnish her reputation. It was rumored that Anne miscarried a deformed fetus, which was seen as a sign of divine displeasure or witchcraft. Some believe that Anne used love magic to seduce Henry VIII, though this was not an official charge. The association of Anne Boleyn with witchcraft has contributed to her enduring fascination in popular culture. Her story has been dramatized in films and literature, often incorporating elements of magic and intrigue. However, Anne was executed on May 19, 1536 for adultery, incest, and treason, not for witchcraft. At number 5, we've got Elizabeth Woodville. Elizabeth Woodville, the wife of King Edward IV of England, was accused of using witchcraft to influence her husband and secure her position at court. Elizabeth Woodville was a member of a relatively minor noble family when she married Edward IV, a union that was seen as a social mismatch by many at court. This led to resentment and accusations against her and her family. Elizabeth was accused of using witchcraft to enthrall Edward IV and secure her marriage. Her mother, Jacquetta of Luxembourg, was also accused of practicing witchcraft. These accusations were often used as a political tool to undermine their influence at court. One specific allegation involved the use of lead figures, which were claimed to have been used by Jacquetta to cast spells. However, these claims were largely unsubstantiated and were part of a broader campaign to discredit the Woodville family. The accusations of witchcraft against Elizabeth Woodville have become part of her historical legacy. Next, we've got Jacquetta of Luxembourg. Jacquetta was accused of using witchcraft to manipulate King Edward IV into marrying her daughter Elizabeth Woodville. This accusation was made by Thomas Wake, a supporter of Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick, during Warwick's rebellion against Edward IV in 1469. Wake claimed that Jacquetta had created lead figures, one resembling the king and another resembling Elizabeth, which she allegedly used in rituals to cast a spell on Edward. However, these claims were not substantiated, and Jacquetta denied them. Jacquetta was brought to trial, but the case against her collapsed. The witnesses, including John Donger, failed to provide evidence, and the charges were dropped by the King's Great Council on January 19, 1470. Jacquetta's high social status, her previous service to the crown, and the return of Edward IV to power likely contributed to her acquittal. The accusations of witchcraft against Jacquetta were part of a broader political strategy to discredit the Woodville family. At number 3, we've got Eleanor Cobham, Duchess of Gloucester. Eleanor Cobham, Duchess of Gloucester, was a prominent figure in 15th century English politics, known for her involvement in alleged witchcraft and necromancy. Eleanor was married to Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, who was the younger brother of King Henry V and uncle of King Henry VI. This made her a potential queen consort if her husband were to ascend to the throne. In 1441, Eleanor was accused of treasonable necromancy and witchcraft. The charges included consulting astrologers to predict the future of King Henry VI and obtaining potions from Marjorie Jourdemain, known as the Witch of Eye, to help her conceive a child. The investigation involved questioning several individuals, including Thomas Southwell and Roger Bolingbroke, who were accused of treasonable necromancy. Eleanor initially denied all charges, but later admitted to 5 of them, including obtaining potions for fertility. Eleanor's case was handled by an ecclesiastical tribunal due to her seeking sanctuary in Westminster Abbey. Next, we've got Joan of Navarre. Joan of Navarre, the Dowager Queen of England, was accused of witchcraft in 1419, but there is no evidence that she actually practiced witchcraft. Joan married King Henry IV of England in 1402 and became the Dowager Queen after his death in 1413. She maintained a good relationship with her stepson, King Henry V, and continued to live in England, enjoying her dower properties and income. In August 1419, Joan's confessor, Friar John Randolph, accused her of using sorcery to procure the death of King Henry V. This accusation was likely politically motivated, as Henry V was facing financial difficulties and sought to confiscate Joan's wealth. Joan was arrested at her manor in Havering, Essex, and placed under house arrest. She was initially held at Rotherhithe, then at Pevensey Castle, and later at Leeds Castle, where she remained for 3 years. The accusations allowed Henry V to confiscate Joan's wealth and properties. And at number 1, we've got Queen Catherine de' Medici. Catherine de' Medici, the Queen of France, was often associated with witchcraft and the occult, though she was never formally accused of practicing witchcraft. Catherine was known for her interest in astrology and astronomy, which were considered suspicious during a time of religious conflict and witch hunting. She entertained magicians and astrologers at court, including the famous seer Nostradamus. Catherine faced rumors of witchcraft, partly due to her initial infertility and the use of unconventional methods to promote fertility. These rumors were exacerbated by her association with figures like Nostradamus and her involvement in political machinations. Some contemporary pamphlets and historians have suggested that Catherine was involved in black magic, including claims that she invented the Black Mass, a dark form of Catholic Mass. However, these claims are largely speculative and not supported by solid evidence. The rumors of witchcraft and occult practices contributed to Catherine's reputation as a ruthless and manipulative leader. And with this, we wrap up this video. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you find our channel interesting, then subscribe to it. Thank you. See you in the next video.